Oh, hello, Jordan.
Hey Kieran, mate, how are we?
Oh, yeah, I'm sitting pretty at top seven still.
Mate.
Happy. Even after a sub 21 score, I'm still good, still good.
Yeah, that's it. Anything over 2000 is pretty good.
Anything over 2,000 is good, especially when it was a top 11 score. But
Yeah, top
let's
11%.
start off with the disappointments of the round.
Yes.
With the major one being Daniels.
Oh,
Um,
carnage.
and I know the exact reason why he scored so shit. People think,
See?
oh, he didn't get much of the ball. He didn't. His tackles didn't land. He let out frees. He wasn't taking the kick-ins.
Yeah,
Was not the case at all. The
yeah.
reason why is because the Bulldogs, Luke Beveridge took him out of the field because it was raining and we didn't want him to drown. So yeah, so you just wanted to get rid of him. So that's why he scored
Oh
19.
my
That's the only reason
God.
why he scored 19. Um,
Wowee. Oh my God.
But nah, look, I'm honestly not going to get rid of Daniels. It's for a week. It's fine.
Yeah, it's only a week.
It was. I'm so glad that Williams didn't play because I got to have Chapman's
Mm.
91, which
How
helped me
good's
out
that?
tremendously because I don't think he will
Yeah,
score 91, and he might be one of my trades this week. We'll see how he goes. We'll just see how he
yeah,
goes.
yeah, yeah,
But
very true.
few people that we should mention before we do the trades
Mm.
is Impey,
Yeah,
because I went Cummings over Impey, and Impey just
yeah.
had another great game. I think it was
Killed it.
112. Killed it. But there was also someone else that's worth the same amount of price that you wanted to bring up as a
Yes,
massive pod.
yes. Can you let me do the honors?
You can do the honors.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Atkins.
Tom Atkins, Geelong.
Kieran, can we check what he's averaging? Like, seriously, I'm pretty
We
sure it's 90 something.
we can check what he's averaging. He is averaging 92
Yeah.
of someone who was worth who was worth less than 300 at the start of the year, and
Yeah.
that's what you brought him in as. You had him since the start, didn't you?
No, so I brought him in.
Oh,
I think I brought I no, I brought him in just before his price rise. So yeah, I
ah,
got him just under 300.
before
Yeah.
three. Yeah, sorry, you,
Yeah.
you you had him for the good price basically,
Yeah. Yeah,
and that
basically. I've had
was
him for 2 weeks now. Yeah.
80k left.
Yeah.
And if he's going to be averaging 90, especially throughout the whole, like throughout the year and stuff like that, obviously he'll dip below it and go above it. Like if he's going to keep that 90 range, he's going to be a massive pod. Considering, oh, here we go, 2% of teams have him. No
That's
one's talked
unreal.
about him.
That's unreal.
And if he's going to keep doing 90s, especially for someone who was worth 200k at the start or 290,
Yeah.
whatever it was at the start, that's insane. He
Yeah.
is a little bit expensive now, but if you're
Yeah.
thinking of bringing in Impy, all we're trying to say is that Tom Atkins can be a bigger pod. So if Inky does have that bad game and he has that good game and you're versing someone who has Impy, then you have that sort of upper hand. Obviously, it
Yeah.
works the same way as well. But
Yeah.
but yeah, two things just worth noting that
Yeah.
he's done a great
Yeah.
he's had a great run
100%.
basically.
I'm pretty sure they're playing the same role as well off half back.
Yep.
Getting a lot of touches as well. Like Impey, I'm pretty sure had 28 on the weekend. Tom Atkins had
Mm.
25.
Yeah.
So both
Huge.
Hawthorn and Geelong are getting the ball in their hands, which
Now
is great for Supercoach, obviously.
yeah. Now do you think that if Dangerfield comes back to Geelong, he'll still keep doing those scores?
So
Atkins?
yeah, round one is just a prime example. And Dangerfield was in the team. Tom Atkins had that role
Yeah.
off half back. So I don't see Dangerfield affecting him at all, to be honest. Yeah.
And Dangerfield is still in round two. Oh no, he wasn't. Sorry,
No,
round one.
no, he
He scored
wasn't.
80, but
Yeah.
that's still alright. It's still closer to his average than what he's done. And the last two
Yeah.
games he's had, the last three games he's had 102, 107, and then 78 lowest of the thing. But
Yeah.
I always say, like if 78 is the lowest he's gonna score, then you have no problems with him, sort of
You're
thing.
laughing.
Same with
Exactly
Impey. His lowest score was 64.
four. Yeah.
64, yeah.
Against the
If
Bombers. Yep.
and if that's the lowest score he's going to be scoring, then you'll have no issues, no
Yeah.
issues basically.
He's
Either
been
is
great
good.
the last 3 weeks
Impy's
as
going to
well.
score more. Is going to go more in price, even
Mm.
though Tom Atkins has got 10 more k over him, or I think
Yeah.
10 more k.
Yeah, it's about that.
Impy's going to jump more in price,
Mm.
but it's more if you'd rather have someone. If you think Tom Atkins is going to score more throughout the end of the season, you want to have him as more of, like what I'm thinking is more of like a F6 sort of range, like as in just lower tier.
Yep.
If you can bring him in for this price and he's going to be ended up like that, you'll have no
Yeah.
issues basically, no
Well,
issues.
this is the thing as well. The reason why Impy's break even's at -6 is because he's had 300 plus
Yeah.
scores in a row.
Mm.
So that 64 would probably be out of his system.
The
Um,
averages are very close. Obviously, Impey's scoring 10 more, but he's also had those 3 games where he scored
yeah.
thing. And if he keeps this up, then obviously Impey's a better decision sort of thing.
Mm,
All we're
mm,
saying is that Atkins is a huge pod that no one sort of thought about at all, basically.
yes. 100%. And I've got both, so
Yeah,
I'm
there you
real
go.
happy at the moment.
Yeah, you're killing it, killing it.
Yeah.
And you went Impey before the price rise, didn't you? Or did you bring him in last
So
week?
I got Impey in last week.
There you go. Yeah,
So
which is
yeah,
still a good time to get him in,
yeah.
and
So
still
I
people are
think I
still
just
bringing
got
him
him
now.
just under 300. So yeah, I'd take that.
The one person that we also need to bring up is Waterman with
Mm-hmm.
102k. His lowest score is 50 something. I think it was
I think.
56, which is still decent. Which is still decent when you look at some of the other rookies and what they're averaging, which isn't even that.
Mm.
Um, and his highest has been is obviously 81, and he's going to jump tremendously in price for someone who's
Yep.
worth 102k.
Basement price.
Yeah, exactly. He's
You just got to bring him in.
You
Simple as
have
that.
to. You have to. Even if it means you're
Yeah.
bringing in someone who hasn't made all their money yet. A lot of people will be getting rid of Campbell.
Yep.
I will talk about my trades afterwards, after you talk
Yep.
about yours, but I'm not getting rid
Yep.
of Campbell for him. I've got a
Yep.
different route,
Mhm.
who I think will work out a bit better.
Yep.
Because I was originally going to bring in Campbell and Impey and stuff like that through some trade switches and stuff, but I think what I'm doing now is works out a bit better. But if you want to talk about who you're going to bring Waterman in, and we'll go
Yep.
from there.
For sure. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Campbell. I am
Yep.
planning on getting rid of Campbell, who's in my midfield at the moment. So I'll just explain for the listeners what I'm going to do. I've got a bit of rigmaroling to do. So yeah, get rid of Campbell, who's in my midfield. Plan is to move Brockman via DPP, so via my dual position player.
Yeah, so you've
So
got
he can
Brockman
play in the
forward.
midfield as well.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm going to move him into my midfield, Brockman.
Yeah, because you got
And
Campbell in the midfield. Yeah, that's
that's right.
Yep.
Yep. And then I've got Powell on my bench at the moment, so I'll just swap Powell with Brockman. So I'll play Powell on my field instead
Yep.
of Brockman.
So Campbell's
That way,
out, Powell's in, Brockman's on the
yeah,
bench.
that's right. That frees up a spot in the forward line, and that's where Alec Waterman's going to go.
That's when Waterman's going to go. Yeah, and
Um,
you're just doing
only
the
planning,
yep.
yeah, only planning on doing one trade at the moment. Don't think I'm
Yep.
going to use that second trade, but not sure.
I am a bit of a sucker for trades at the moment. I've used all of them. I've got 24 left, and today is not going to be an exception. I'm going to be doing 2 more trades, but the trades I'm going to do are amazing, I think, because I
Yep.
fiddled around with a few things. The first thing was going to be Campbell for Waterman because Campbell's got a pretty high break even, and he's not expected to make any more money, but who I assume is still going to be playing anyway, regardless of all that sort of stuff. And then I thought, oh, hang on a minute, Fantasia's also got a high break even as well. I should get rid of him also. So there was like Waterman, and I can bring in someone like Impey and Waterman and have 100k left. But I thought, nah, I don't need all that walking around change. So then I thought, then I had the other thought of I can get rid of Williams and Campbell, and have Waterman and have someone like a bring in anyone else. Like I could potentially bring in, I think it was Lloyd that we were talking about as well,
Yep.
or wait a week and have it like that, and
Yep.
wait a week and bring in Lloyd when he's cheaper. Because I still think
Mhm.
he's going to be a top six
Oh,
defender,
Lloyd
100
will be
percent,
top six.
100
Yeah, for
percent.
sure.
But then I thought, hang on a minute, I'm not too sure if Williams will be playing or not. So I thought I might make him a priority, because then regardless of waiting until Friday night if he's named or anything like that, I'm just going to get rid of him.
Yep.
Because he has got a high break even. I'm not going to say he's not going to score 104 or anything like that. But if he does score lower, he's going to lose a lot of money. 12, and I was one of the people that brought him in after round 1 for Dangerfield and Rowe and stuff like that. I moved a few around. Bit of a bad trade, but look, he hasn't lost any money for me
That's
anyway.
right. Look, you live and learn from mistakes like this as well. So
Exactly. So now for my trades, what I think one of the best trades I'm going to do is getting rid of Fantasia
yep.
for Waterman.
Yep.
When it loads, and also get rid of Williams, but I'll get to that.
Yep.
That's right. Let me refresh this. We'll go straight back into it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Fantasia out.
Yep. And that's a good move, I reckon, as well, because his break even's high. You
Because yeah,
said it
he's
was
also
around
got
80 as well, didn't you?
yeah 80 break even, which is what we looked at
Yep.
before.
Yep.
For Waterman, who's gonna be making money regardless,
Yep.
and getting rid of Williams, who I'm not too
Yep.
sure if he's gonna play or not, and then switching Laird up. I was thinking
Yep.
about doing Jackie Boy over here and having
Mm,
another thing because he could be a potential thing, and if I potential top six considering how he's
yeah.
going and have 150. But I feel
Yeah.
like I'm not I'm not 100% on him, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not
I do
100%.
like the pick though, Kieran. I really like the pick.
But then I thought, look, let me bring Laird back into the defense because I think that's where I'm
Yep.
going to probably end it up with him.
Yep.
And then I just fucking just chuck Jack Steele there and have
Mm,
a solid midfield with no money left in the bank because honestly, who needs it? Money's nothing. You're going to be making money with Waterman. You're going to be making money with Jones and stuff like that. And
mm,
have now my midfield Steele, McRae, Fife, Mitchell, Cripps, who's now showing a bit more promise. Cripps,
yeah.
Gordon, Clark, Powell, who have all done pretty well. Gordon's first two games were awesome.
Yeah.
Even Clark's doing some decent scores. He's now got a low break even like what Gordon has. Powell's going to
Yeah.
make money. That means I don't have to worry about what Jordan scores or I've never had to worry about Brockman or McNeil. They've just sat on my bench.
Yep.
And if Waterman's going to keep this up, I won't have to worry about if Jones is going to score well and swap him and stuff like that.
Yep.
The next steps moving forward for me is mostly see how Rowe does. Obviously, see how Campbell does next week. I'm hoping for the best that he scores a 70 plus.
Yep.
And if he does, I'll be laughing. I'll be it'll be one of the best things I've done is just keep him there because
Yep.
if he has that 100 game, he can then lower his break even and then score even more and stuff like that. And that's what I'm
We'll be
begging
back
for.
down.
Having another 118 game against GWS as well. That's what I'm banking on.
Yep.
And then he can make even more money to bring someone in and stuff like that. But we'll just see how it goes. Right now, I'm liking my defense. I'm liking my midfield a lot now. Ruckman's
Yep.
solid. Forwards is probably what I'll work on next week. Which may be Impey if he doesn't jump up too much. But look, I'm not too fussed about bringing him Impey. We'll just sort of see how it goes. But
Yeah. No, that's all right, Kieran. That's looking good.
I'm not liking the salary, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Or the trades,
Yeah.
but that's fine.
That's
I might slow it down a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that.
Yeah. Very good.
Did you want to talk about a bit of a shout out?
Yeah, actually. Before I forget, because
Yeah.
he'd give me a railing. Shout out to Jackson. I told him I was potting tonight. And I just give him a shout out. So hope you're having a good one, mate. And I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Jackson, I have got you round 7 in our little league of ours. I am going to absolutely slaughter you, by the way. I'm coming for you. I don't even know what your team is, but look, I'm going to do every trade possible to make sure that I beat you in round 7. just for that. Just because you wanted to shout it, that's it.
So, Jacko, you've been warned, mate.
One thing I should make note as well. I'm not getting rid of Daniels, even though 10,000 people are, and I'm not getting rid of Campbell.
Yeah.
Campbell just needs that one good game, and I hope he scores it. I hope he scores it against GWS. Even though GWS did really well last week, and Daniel, they were just playing in the rain, had shit conditions and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
that's half the reason he did. And he also slung tackle some guy who Berry to the ground who's making him out for a week. But I feel confident in Chapman.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Highmore plays another game. He needs to score. He needs to play
So
that one game.
I was telling my mate, I'm like, they need to bring him back in, but they just had a great win against West Coast.
Exactly.
Like,
And if you have a great win, there's no point bringing him, changing up the system and stuff like that.
yeah.
I'm not too sure who was in for him because he had a couple of good games.
He did. Like, he didn't score under 50. He didn't score under 60,
decent
actually.
scores. And look, I don't know too much about the St Kilda roster and who they brought him in for or anything like that. But it seems to me he wasn't injured or anything like that. He just got him out.
Yeah.
I would like to see Powell score another 100 so I can have him on the bench this time. Because last time I had Jordan, who scored 24, and that 80 points can mean the difference between winning or losing.
It killed me as well.
Yeah. But That's the thing. I hope with the team that I have, I can crack the 2200 again, unlike
Yeah.
what I did last week. And I assume
Yeah.
everyone's the sort of same.
Yep.
But if we go, I don't want to go rankings. If we go, no, I want to go home.
Yep.
If we're gonna go home, I want to still stay the top 7 after the end of this week, and I'm happy with the score. But look,
Yep.
I want to crack, I want to crack the 10k. If I can crack 10k, 2600, or mate,
I'd love to overtake you this week, but I
I'll be
don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see how we go.
because you're top eight, and
Yeah, I think I'm top 8 or 9. I'm not too far behind you.
and the other thing is the other thing as well is you're above me in our league as well.
Not total points wise, but yeah.
Total points wise,
Yeah.
I'm killing it.
Yeah.
But just because we've just had just the play pool that we versed and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And look, if
Um,
I had one loss, but he killed it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
2270, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not too
that's
sure what else we should bring up, because it wasn't like, again, like I didn't want to do 2 trades this week, but if I can bring in Steel, that's solid. If I can bring in Steel for the 2 trades that I did, who I don't think is going to be scoring anywhere close to what Steel's going to be. Not that I think he's going to do another 150 or anything like that. I just think I'd like to end up with him, and it's
sure.
better to bring him in later, sooner or later, considering he's got a low break even of 100, which is low for him. His lowest score is 90, and if that's going to be his lowest score, that's a great trade. He's not a pod by any means, but he could be with 31,000. He could be a pod for your league.
That's right.
Which I'm hoping for anyway. I don't think anyone else is gonna, and I don't know anyone who's gonna be bringing him in this week besides me. But yeah,
Oh, look, some people might bring him in after that 150 score. You never know. But a thing that I might add as well is, and I can't stress this enough to our listeners as well, we do need to start being wary of trades.
Yes.
I know it is kind of the start of the season, but you need to start planning around, what trades you're going to make, who you're going to bring in.
Because it's
you need to work around the buys as well, because, you have an extra trade for the buys. You have 3 during the buy rounds.
And the thing is, I don't usually trade during my buy rounds. I usually have a sort of, I usually just go, if I've got 18, or I think it's top 18, yeah?
Yeah, it's 18.
Yeah.
Best
If I have the 18 or 19 players, I just leave him.
That's like me.
I don't go towards going all 3 trades and stuff like that, because it just gets, you lose them way too fast. Too fast.
That's right.
And usually by that stage, because when is it, round 12? Usually you have a decent team that you can sort of rely on as well. The one thing to note is Lachlan Jones. See how he goes next week before bringing him in.
Yep.
Because one, you don't want to bring him in and then he gets injured, or if he scores like a 20 or something like that, and he's like, oh well, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Especially when there's still options there. I wouldn't get rid of Highmore for him. One, because that's another 30k, and 2, if Highmore just needs up 1 more game.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, because initially I was thinking, maybe not. But then if we don't have any other options, another thing that I might add as well, regardless of what he scores, I feel like we're going to be talking about him next week, Kieran.
Yeah.
100%. Bring him in.
100%.
I'm probably going to be one of those people, and I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, I was thinking Shoal as well, but honestly, I'm not too sure how good he's going to be in the end of the year. And that's sort of
into the hype,
and that's sort of what you're basing this whole thing on. He is going to make money, but you're spending a trade bringing him in just to spend a trade to get rid of him.
That's right, and that's what he scored, 160. Yeah, no, I'm not going to lie, I had a look at him myself.
Exactly. 160 crazy.
Get sucked into the hype,
but you have to realize that his all his other scores are under 100 as well.
That's right.
And the 160, is he going to score that every week? No.
That's right. And he had a killer game as well. We can't take that away from him.
Oh, exactly. But I wouldn't don't base all your options off the one game. That was half the reason why I didn't bring Boak in after the first round. Because even him scoring the 160, he's still losing money.
He's losing money now.
And
break even's high.
And a high break even. Obviously, that's another pod that probably. No, sorry, he's not a pod anymore. He's not a pod anymore. I had him last year. No one else had him, and he killed it for me. I also had Steel from the start last year. And that was like the 2 best things I had. It was like Boak at the start of last year and Steel.
Yeah.
I think I started off with Steel because I think he was so cheap. He was so cheap.
Last year, Ridley was my man. He was my pick of the year.
515. I had him since the start. Yeah, I went Sard over Ridley last year. Hated myself for it. Sard cost more, and I only
Yeah.
picked him up because he was averaging more after the 3 rounds. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, Sard's going to kill it. And then Ridley just overtook him, overshadowed him, and I cried.
He was a massive risk, Ridley.
Yeah.
I'm like, this could either bite me in the ass or yeah, it could turn out all right. And it turned out well. So
Yeah. And the
very,
other thing
very
is,
happy.
a lot of people got rid of Cripps most of the start or didn't bring him in. If you didn't bring him in, it's fine. But him averaging 90 is all you can ask for how much you spent for him and stuff like that. Obviously, you'd
There's a
rather
big score
him.
around the corner. There's a big
Yeah.
score around the corner.
Honestly,
I
that's
can-
what I'm hoping for.
Mm.
Maybe not against Port. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Who they got next week?
Who have they got this? Brisbane Lions. Better.
Could
Better.
at Marvel? They could against the Lions.
And MCG against
Could
Essendon.
against the Bombers as well. But
Yeah.
Bombers are playing some good footy. So
Exactly. So I wouldn't count on him to score that
Yeah.
well. But look,
Alright.
he's known to score those big scores, and he's done it before, and he's had the 2 games at averaging over 100 the last 2 games anyway. If you get rid of the 80s, 109, 199, so that's an average of 105 or something like that. So if he scores another 100 plus this week, I'm safe. He's
that's it.
safe basically.
yeah,
One thing I just want to bring up just very quickly, I know it's running a bit
Yeah.
bit longer than usual,
That's
is Neil. And
Yeah.
if you've started off with him and you got rid of him, that's fine. But if you don't think he's going to be a top 8 midfielder, a top 10 midfielder by the end of the season, then yeah, don't worry about trading him in, bring him in, or anything like that. But if you think that he is going to be a top 10, then look at the next couple of weeks. He's gonna be so cheap in price, and if you have him, say about under 550, which I think is what he's aiming at,
yeah,
under 550, yeah, he could potentially, if he scores 95, which is showing him going up in price as well, which is showing him getting better and stuff like that, because I think he had issues with his back and all that.
yeah,
He could potentially be obviously not a pod or anything like that, but if you could be one of the people that get him in for under 550 and people are spending 700 and stuff for him, crazy.
yeah.
Because
I think that
honestly,
I will add.
I've been thinking about it. I've honestly been thinking about it. And the other thing I was, other one I was looking at was Oliver. I was hoping he would have got
Yeah,
a
I've got
bad
Oliver.
score against.
Yeah, I've got Oliver as well.
I was hoping he'd have
I
a
thought he was
bad
going to get
score.
tagged. He had a killer game, but
He's still going to go low, but if he had another, say, 70 or something like that, or
yeah,
like say 80 or something was more realistic, then he would have dropped so much, be like similar to what Neil is. And those are the 2 players you sort of want on your team. Because
yeah,
if I don't know if he got heavily tagged or anything like that, or the tag was going instead of someone else or anything, but
Yeah.
he was if he can score 130 against someone like Geelong, then
Yeah.
he's pretty safe. He's
Yeah.
pretty safe.
2 things, and then we'll wrap this thing up, mate. Yeah,
Yep.
I think what was happening in that Melbourne Geelong game, Petrarca and Oliver were just killing it. I
Yeah.
don't know what Geelong were doing. I'm pretty sure Petrarca had 36, and Oliver had like 33 or something, and they both scored really well.
And the thing is,
And-
if you had Petrarca since the start, I still wouldn't have got rid of him because he was still averaging a little bit. But then he just surprised you with scores like that, and that can win you the games basically, having
That's
these
right.
scores like that.
Yeah,
There was more safer options as well, but like you could have potentially just swapped him out for Boak at the start of the season just because he had that massive score. But I don't think Boak scored very well this week compared to what Petrarca did. Considering the same price, he scored half his score,
yeah.
or almost.
And
anyway.
the thing with Neil as well is, I feel like there's good things coming with him because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure in the game against your mob on the weekend, Kieran, I'm pretty sure he had 13 touches in the last quarter.
Yeah. He was
that
going for a
excites me.
very very bad score, but then that last quarter he just stepped it up a notch, and it might have
Yeah.
been that he had better accuracy as well and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
I think he would have scored like 20, 30 points just off the last quarter alone, and that's what he's used to, scoring those every quarter.
yeah, 100%.
And if he scores that massive, and you've already got rid of him because he wasn't the price and stuff, so if you got rid of him just to bring him back in, you've wasted 2 trades there. I would never get rid of him if I start off with him, but But yeah, I didn't want to. I didn't want to spend 730 on a midfielder. I'd rather have that money spread out. I had that same thing. I didn't want to start off with Lloyd as well, and he's been doing all right.
Yeah.
He's another one that I want to bring in. If I could bring him in for my defense, I'll be happy as well. But then again, there's no one I would want to switch him out for. Potentially, I could switch him out for Daniels, but I still think he's going to be a top defender anyway, so I'm going to keep him there. He's just had a bad season, a bad start to the season, like what Neil has, and everyone sort of has those days and stuff like that.
Indeed.
He has had those 4 average, like Neil's had those 4 average games, but it doesn't mean he's not going to finish really strong for you, or he can't finish really strong for you.
Yeah,
he can definitely do those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for me.
I think that's a wrap, Kieran.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll see you next week, and we'll see how we go with the trades that we have made. I'm gonna put the brakes on. I'm gonna stop trading. I might not do a trade next week. Yeah, I think I'm happy with my team. I just saw the option to bring in Steele and thought, I'll do it. I'll do it because I'm happy with my defense, especially when Daniel's back the week after. Which means I won't take what Chapman scores, but yeah, Cummings is about to be 400k for me as well, and that could be even that could be really good for me bringing in say Lloyd or someone like that for him. But I'm happy with how I am, but I need to stop. Too much trades. I've done too much trades. I need to stop.
Yeah.
But I'll see you guys next week, and we'll go from there.
Thanks to our listeners as well. Just remember to like and subscribe, and don't be scared to drop a comment as well.
Also, drop a comment if you have any questions. We've been answering everyone that everyone that has, and we're not trying to argue with anyone. We're just trying to
definitely not.
We're just trying to give you guys options and stuff. Like I know some people are talking about trading Neil because he's doing shit and stuff like that, but I wouldn't bother with him. He's going to end up really well anyway.
We're just trying to build a good community. That's all.
Exactly. But we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next week, and we'll
Thanks,
see
guys.
how the day goes. Cheers.
Bye.